Hey guys, what's good? Triple J Boxing here, and today we're looking at Canelo Alvarez training in Lake Tahoe here for his media day workout. Happened earlier today, and it's actually I was busy all day, so this is my first time actually seeing it. So it will be my first impression as well. So. Yeah, this is him shadow boxing, just warming up. Quality looks kind of, is that HD? Yeah, it's in HD. It's looking a bit. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Okay, it's good. It's good. Yes, so this is just the warm up. He did some skipping before this, guys. If you want to check out the full media workout, just I'll leave a link in the description. It's on the Showtime YouTube channel, or PBC. I think it's on there as well. Premier Boxing Champions YouTube channel. But yeah, you can check all the interviews. He did some skipping before this too. So it's looking locked in, focused, I notice. The interview before this, Canelo always gives off a confident aura, and he always says the right thing, so it's hard to find like a chink in his armor mentally, like if he's good or not, but he seems like he is like 100%. He keeps on saying that, like I feel like very good. They asked him about like when he's going to retire. He says that's not in my mind at all. I just take it a fight at a time, and I don't even think about... He's not even thinking about any of that. He feels young. He feels strong. He feels like he's in his prime. He says multiple times. And he's 100%, so... Yeah, you got to believe him, I guess. He's, like I said, he's always confident. So... They're never going to go out and say, obviously, oh yeah, I had a bad camp. I'm having a bad camp, guys. Like... That wouldn't be good for the fight, but Canelo, he takes boxing seriously, so you can at least know that. Now, for if he's still in his prime, I don't know. He's not that old. What is he, guys? 30? Is he 34? Yeah, so he's still in the prime years, but he's on the tail end. And he's had a lot of wars, and he's been boxing since 15. So wear and tear on the body does add up. And obviously someone who hasn't had his... Like Jermell Charlo is like the same age as Canelo. I think he's maybe a year younger, like 33. I could be wrong on the ages, guys. Like, it's around there, though, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, so... Like, Jermell is more fresh, I would say, at his age, just because he's had a couple wars with, like, Castano, but he hasn't had the long, grueling career of Canelo starting at 55 in Mexico. It's totally different, like, you know what I mean? Totally different. And the wars with Triple G, he faced big punchers like Kovalev, Bivol. Like, it all takes a toll on your body, moving up in weight. And challenging, obviously... His resume is way better than Charlo's, let's be honest here. Way better. Charlo doesn't even have anybody who comes close to really the names that Canelo has fought, to be honest. But, yeah, like, so what I'm trying to say, guys, is, like, a guy who's the same age as you doesn't mean, like, he could be fresher, right? So, even though Canelo's, like, what is he? Like, I think he's, like, 34. He's not that old, but it will catch up to you, though, the years, right? Time will get you, but plus just doing boxing day in and day out. Cars break down, they need replacement parts. People break down, right? Repetitive movements every day. Even if you're not getting hit in the head, you're doing the same movements every day. Your body's going to break down, like... You know what I mean? As you get older, it's just the way it is. So, I would say it's, like, on my opinion, I don't know. I would say, I would put it this way. he might still be in his prime, but he's not getting better. I'll put it that way. And if he is declining, he's not severely declining. Maybe he's just getting out of his prime. But yeah, I don't think he's getting better, guys. I think he's been stagnant now. He's reached his peak. It's just maintaining pretty much, I would say. I think most boxers after 30, they don't really get better. They just have to maintain it, to be honest. Because at 30, you have the perfect amount of experience and you're still kind of young. Whereas, say, when you're 25, you're still not... You don't have enough experience, but you're maybe physically better than you are at 30, but it don't matter because experience is a huge factor in boxing as well. And in any sport, but... The only sports I can really think of where being super young is like always better is like sports like track and field, like sprinting, like the 100 meter, 200 meter. Like most guys have their best time under 25 years old, I think it was, or it was something like that. But yeah, for boxing, experience is big and other sports as well. So yeah, I think it's hard to say, like, oh, he didn't look good against Bivol, but that's just because Bivol is obviously fighting at light heavyweight. He's used to fighting bigger guys. Canelo's a lot smaller, not a lot smaller than him per se, but Bivol is he's been fighting at light heavyweight his whole career, and Bivol's just got the skills. He's in my top 10 pound for pound. I think he's one of the best fighters there's been for a while. He just doesn't get that same marketing push. Been watching Bivol since the HBO days when he was fighting like Sullivan Barrera and when he fought Joe Smith Jr. way back in the day before Joe Smith became the champ. So, that was a while ago, guys. That was like at least 5-6 years ago. So I knew Bivol. I think it was just a case of Bivol was too much for him and not that Canelo was really declining. But it is possible that Canelo has declined a bit. I'm not going to leave that out of the question. The Triple G3 fight, he didn't look impressive at all to me. He didn't look that good. Sure, he won the fight, but Triple G was coming on late in that fight, and which is kind of odd for a 40-year-old man in Triple G to come on late and win rounds to make it actually a closer fight. Then scorecards were actually pretty close. Yeah, which was... You kind of wonder what's going on there. And he didn't get John Ryder out of there, but he beat him up. He dropped him. So yeah, it's hard to say, guys. But I wouldn't say the Bivol fight was a sign of him declining. I'll put it like I know that for sure. I think Bivol is that guy. I don't see nobody beating Bivol right now in near the weight class. No one at light heavyweight, no one at 168. No, not David Benavidez, not even Beterbiev is beating Bivol in my opinion. But yeah, so kind of got lost in the talk there, guys, that I'm not even paying attention to the shadow boxing, but yeah, this man's been doing it all his life, though. Brought up in, was it Guadalajara? Was he raised? Or is that where he lives now? But wherever it was in Mexico, he's had a rough upbringing, obviously, in Mexico. He's had to really beat the odds and to get to this point. And fighting at 15 years old against grown men. Obviously, yeah, they're not champions he's fighting at 15, but he's a kid and he's got to fight grown men, so I don't know, guys. I think he's gonna have a lot to prove in this fight. Like I did say in the previous video, Charlo has a lot to prove, and he seems locked in and sharp. I think Canelo is really hungry for this fight because Charlo's a big name and he knows that. Charlo's an undisputed champ at 154. They were supposed to fight when Canelo used to be at 154. And then it was funny in the interview, Canelo was saying how he remembers everything, and he remembers the stuff that the Charlo brothers were saying about stuff they're saying about him back in the day, and he says, "I don't forget that, and I'm going to show them in the ring." And I forget what shit, if he was shit talking or if he was just saying in general that they could beat Canelo. It's been so long ago, right? That they've been considered fighting each other, but Canelo says he doesn't forget, and he's got something to prove, I feel like. And he, like I said, he hasn't had an impressive win really since the Caleb fight, because really John Ryder, sure, John Ryder's just not a big name really. He beat him up, knocked him down. Triple G3 didn't look good in that fight, even though he won it. I just don't think he looked good. Bivol, he lost that fight. So really, since the Caleb fight, he hasn't had a really spectacular win. I think this is the guy to do it against, Charlo, because not only does Charlo have a big name, but he'll get huge recognition if Canelo can beat Charlo. He'll be back up. People will start talking about Canelo a lot again, because I do feel like the hype has slowed down for Canelo in the last year and a half. So yeah, guys, pretty much ever since the Bivol fight, I feel like. So it should be a good fight, guys. September 30th, Showtime pay-per-view. I'm liking the energies of both guys. That's all I got to say. Both guys seem hungry for this, to win this fight. I think we're going to get a great fight. I just feel it. And yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts on this fight. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys.